Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Donald Trump leads the polls and we're less than 6 months away from the election. We're honestly a month and a half away from the first debate actually, because Biden is pushing it up because he knows he's in a lot of trouble. And usually if you're Biden, debating is not something you want to lean into because it's not your strength. But when you're down and you're desperate, that's what you do. You call for early debates. And Trump said anywhere, anytime, any place. And he has committed to that. He'll be there. He's going to go into the lion's den. And we will see what happens. But either way, it is early. It'll give a momentum boost at most. Probably won't determine the sole outcome of the election in and of itself. But Donald Trump leads in the polls, and that's huge because he never led in 2020 in the popular vote, but he hasn't trailed since September 11th, 2023. And even when he has trailed, he's trailed by a margin in the popular vote that is so minuscule that he would still probably end up winning in the Electoral College because that's exactly what matters. It's not just about how well you perform in the popular vote. Hypothetically, you could lose the popular vote by 90 points and still win, but it's not likely, obviously. But I'm just saying that it's a metric that is not all that indicative, even though it's true. If Biden wins it by 4 points or more, or even 3 points or more, yeah, it's likely he's going to win the election. But as of right now, Trump is the favorite, even if he's not leading by like 10 points or 5 points or whatever. The center of gravity just shifted. But the swing states are what are important. And Donald Trump in 2020, we talk about the Sun Belt states. You had North Carolina, which Donald Trump won, Florida, which Trump won, Texas, which Trump won. None of those three, well, except North Carolina, but the other two are not being polled as swing states. Like these people back in the day, they actually thought South Carolina was going to be a single-digit race. Donald Trump won it by 12 points. And that was not really the best year for him. Now he's probably going to win it by more than that. And we will see that when November comes. But you look at North Carolina, Trump already won it. Florida, he won it. Texas, he won it. He's probably going to win all three by more than what he won them by in 2020. But you look at the polls in North Carolina, this is absolutely huge because Trump is up in the aggregate by 5.4%. And this is a state where the polls usually have underestimated Republicans, especially in early polling, but it doesn't matter. Trump still leads by 5.4 percentage points in North Carolina. Biden as an incumbent's below 43. Trump is getting up there close to 50%. That's crucial because if he wins North Carolina, he's already got Texas, Florida, Ohio, Iowa, you name it. He's not losing a state from 2020. His floor is where he was. He can add states. He could pick off states, add states to his column that he did not initially have. And because Biden's approval rating it's been in a downward spiral, even if it goes up a little bit here, it's not like it's going to miraculously recover. His favorables are not going to be above water. And Donald Trump has a better net favorable spread than Biden has at this point, which was unheard of in 2020. Even Hillary had a lesser unfavorable net spread than Donald Trump did. So when you look at that, it's like, yeah, Trump is in a very good position. North Carolina, Republicans midterms, they won it. Obviously, the state is not going to flip. And it's not just because of midterm data, because you can't really use that to predict the presidential election. But it shows, you look at the party registration data, you look at even like the primary turnout this cycle, and just Biden really struggling to energize a lot of black voters, which is paramount to winning the states, how Obama won it in 2008. It's not there. And that was despite the fact that unlike 2008, you actually had higher black turnout in 2020, and still he couldn't even get it within 1 point. So Georgia, however, he was able to win because of the changing demography, but the growth is slowing down. It's slowing down. People aren't moving as much in the Biden economy. This is giving Donald Trump a boost. These numbers in the Atlanta area, even if the percentages in Fulton County stay the same, is Biden going to net in Fulton County 240,000 votes over Donald Trump? That's the question, and the answer is probably not. DeKalb County, he's probably not going to net 250. So, you talk about the total net in the Atlanta, in these two counties alone, very black-heavy counties. it was around 500,000 votes. I think that gets cut down just because of turnout, disillusionment. Trump will make some gains. And then in the suburbs, could Biden hit a wall like we possibly have speculated in some of these places? Yeah, because who's moving? You don't really have these counties growing as fast as they were before. And people are also dissatisfied with Biden. And there's a decent minority population, which is probably the most likely demographic to drop off from 2020. Biden saying he's not prioritizing Georgia. Look at the polls in Georgia. Donald Trump is at 49. With the third-party candidates in the mix, that means he likely takes Georgia, period. Because Biden, even if you give him all the undecideds, he's not going to be able to get that. And the third-party candidates probably do end up taking like 3-4 points away from both. And that's not fully factored in because I feel like a lot of them would be undecided. And I think they take more away from Biden than Trump. So when you look at it, it's like, yeah, Donald Trump in the state of Georgia, he's going to be in a very solid position to go out there and retake the state. As state Republicans thought and speculated that they would never be able to take ever again. But they are in a very good position to go out there and win it. And that's huge. When it comes to a state like Florida, we don't even have to talk about it. Republicans lead Democrats by like over 1 million votes in the party registration. And they never led the Democrats until I think it was 2022. In terms of that, the lead has grown, bigger and bigger. And as a result, Donald Trump's going to be in a very good position. This state is basically becoming the Republican equivalent to California. It's becoming another Texas, except it's for sure trending right. This is not exactly a very good sign for Biden. They're going to try to spend money in these places. It's not going to pan out. Then you have the state of Texas as well. And you look at Texas, it's obviously grown a lot, and that we know. But in terms of the suburban shift, I feel like you've seen a lot of it that is really to happen. How many Trump voters from 2020 are going to drop off for one reason or another? It's not very likely that you see many of them doing so. And whatever Trump loses in the suburbs among, white suburbanites, he might gain with Hispanics and potentially, black turnout dipping in a place like Harris County or Dallas County. Trump's going to be fine in Texas. I think he's actually going to go out there and take the state by closer to 10 than, the 5 percentage points, a little bit more than that he took the state by in 2020. So you look at that. Very good news for Donald Trump out of Texas. That's the Sun Belt. New Mexico, technically it's a part of it, but is it likely that Trump flips it? Same thing with Virginia. These are long shot flips. It's not entirely top priority. He goes out there, and if he takes it, he's probably sweeping the board. So it's not like a state that we have to worry about or put too many eggs in that specific basket, especially because it's only 5 electoral votes. But Nevada's 6 electoral votes, and Donald Trump is in a very good position. You talk about the party registration gap closing, and you talk about the fact that the polls have him up by over 6. He's not going to win it by 13 like that one poll showed. He probably doesn't even win it by 6, but could he easily win it by 2 or 3? Yeah, it's entirely possible. I mean, you look at Clark County, this is where the population is, but it's not like Clark County's moving to the left. Even in 2020, of all years, it moved to the right by 1.4 percentage points. And if you compare that to like the national trend, that's like a 4-point trend. So if you see that and you potentially see the national environment move right by like 4 or 5 points, like what the polls are showing, that's like a 9-point shift. You could see Trump flip Clark County. I think it possibly could happen. You can't really gauge the midterms to predict this, but even then, Republicans did pretty well in the midterms. And I think that Donald Trump, you could make the case if he wins Clark County, period. I mean, even if he gets Clark County down to a Democrat win, but it's like a 5-point win or a 6.5% win, that basically puts the Democrat margin at nil. It's nothing. And if you move it to, I think, just a 4.5 or a 5-point win, that's a 1-point win for Trump in the Silver State. So very good news for Trump there, but also Arizona is another one. And people really are, I really feel like, dooming on the state simply because of the fact that Maricopa County is only one county. It's been moving to the left, and it's like there's a lot of different factors. Not all of Maricopa is moving to the left. If the parts that are moving right move right faster than the parts that are moving left, move left, then Donald Trump's going to go out there and he's going to take the state of Arizona. He's going to take maybe not the county, but so long as he's able to limit the margin in the county below, I think, like 2 points or so, which I think third parties help. especially as all those McCain-Biden types, are they going to be as likely to cast a ballot for Biden? That's like the RFK Jr. demographic, maybe not ideologically speaking, but in terms of I don't like either candidate, that's like a protest vote type of ordeal. That's good news. Trump's going to likely gain in Yuma County. The border crisis is huge for this state. You talk about the buyer's remorse. The border crisis impacts the Sun Belt. It impacts every state, don't get me wrong, but still, the Sun Belt is crucial, and Arizona is a state directly on the border. That's Donald Trump's signature issue. He's, brought it to the forefront. It's more in the forefront than it ever was in 2016 when it was in the forefront, or 2020, where it was kind of a back burner issue, even though it was under control, comparatively speaking. And now you're looking at Arizona, a little drop off, whatever, 10,000 votes, you name it. Republicans have already gained in terms of their party registration by like 100-some thousand since then. And that's with the state. Potentially you talk about, Republicans would be switching and becoming Democrats, whatever. You're not really seeing that. If the state's trending left, I'm not saying it can't happen or that certain counties can't move left, but it's looking good for Republicans overall. And it's likely because of the fact that Biden is just so unpopular. And if Trump gets North Carolina, he gets Georgia, Florida, Texas, Arizona, Nevada, he's at 268. If the poll in Omaha is right, Trump gets that district. He's at 269. He wins in the House. It'd be a very chaotic election. But the Rust Belt is very important. Trump needs one of these three states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, to fully secure his victory. And we will be talking about that hopefully in the next video, if not the one after that. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.